Hey all, I'm Ludwin.
I'm Ken Sean.
I'm Nick the intern.
And behind us, we've got two different brands, but under one greater umbrella of Megco. So the two brands that we stock from them are going to be Monitaly and Chimula. Monitaly based in California with Chimula in Mexico. You're going to see, some more ready-to-wear stuff from Monitaly with some knitwear and accessories coming in from Chimula. So we'll start off with Monitaly. I feel like this is the brand we've stocked for the longest of the two. And this is some shapes you might have seen before. This is the CWE Blouson. It's like a vintage-inspired collared bomber jacket. I feel like this guy's a little bit of a vintage head, and it fits him pretty good. It kind of goes with his style. This is something that we had before. It's a pretty just kind of ubiquitously handsome jacket. It just kind of fits on most every style, so you can go with that kind of, milsurpy vibe. You can also make it a little bit fancier, especially when they're doing it with cloths like this. Monitaly, I think they specialize in kind of textile production, or I guess development. So this is a cloth we've seen from them before. This is their Vicente flannel, which is a wool flannel, but it has a little bit of like a basket weave-like texture to it. It's pretty like smooth on skin, but this time in the bomber, we've got it with this kind of like nylon ripstop lining. So it feels a little bit more milsurpy on the inside, but on the outside, a little bit luxe, a little swaggy. And on the other one, we've got this kind of like chalk stripe check in charcoal, also a wool flannel, but I'd say a little bit hairier than the Vicente flannel. So this one's gonna have a little bit more structure to the body. Yeah. But all the hits are what they need to be. Nice ribbed hem and sleeves. It's just such an easy thing to wear. It's I'd say a little bit on the relaxed side. You're wearing a size
38.
Size 38, yeah, and they're sized in U.S. chest sizes, so you're going to take your usual size. So these are pretty great. I think, you get a brown one, gray one, you're going to know what to do. They're nice. So two jackets, and we also have two trousers from them, which is a new trouser shape for us from Monitaly. We're not used to doing new trouser shapes with them, I feel like. We kind of got into the groove of like get our riding pants, get our painter's pants, get our denim. But this time, this is something I feel like I first saw on their sheet probably like 3-4 years ago. This is what they call the Akusi pant. It's kind of in line with what we're seeing from a lot of brands, but done in a Monitaly way, where it has a nice relaxed top block. It's actually the pair of pants I'm wearing right now. A pleat, but instead of like a regular pleat or a double pleat, they do this very, very nice inverted box pleat. So you see it kind of opens up like a little bit of a tent, and it kind of flares out, and then it keeps that shape all the way down. So similar to like a balloon pin or anything that's gonna have that kind of like wide then tapered structure. But they just do it in a way that I feel like has a little bit more of a statement than you're used to seeing. They have it in these two colors, which is, like I mentioned in the prior video, like a Yurple color, that like brown purpley situation. Because you can see the brown on the footwear, whereas this is what they're calling brown. It's a little bit more purpley, it's nice. It very much meshes well with natural colors as I'm doing here. And this one's kind of like a washed black. They call it a cotton ripstop. I feel like in hand, this certainly looks and feels like a denim, so I went ahead and called it a denim. I'm sorry, Yuki, that's just what I see, but I'm sure that there is some kind of an underlying very subtle ripstop there. But just so you can expect what to feel in hand when you get it, it is denim. So if you compare with like on Monitaly's website, this would be what you're seeing there. So that's a pretty sweet shape. I'm taking a size 36. I feel like Monitaly waist sizes are very, very true. So if you're usually like a US, your usual US waist size, I can take a 34, but I'd have to wear it like at my true waist. If I wanted to wear it a little bit lower, I'm going with a 36. And it lets me just, because the inseam is on the cropped end of things, so when you take it larger, you can kind of wear it down to where you want to go, and you can belt it up high if that's what you need to do. So yeah, very, very dope. That is the Monitaly apparel. We do have two accessories from them. I'll bring it up now just to make things a little bit more cohesive. Are the two belts. These are belts that you've seen from us in the past. Thank you. It's their slightly extended Western belt. So we have it in the classic black as well as the darker brown. I believe we call this the Havana brown. Yeah. So you see the Western inspired hardware. You also get the metal tip at the end, so you're getting that nice length anchored down, so you get some really good shapes when you're going around. And the leather is nothing to I guess, what do people say? Not slouch at, nothing to bat an eye at, nothing to sneeze at, nothing to do anything bad at. The leather is hardy and feels nice and is gonna wear in well. Kenjon's actually wearing one right here and looks great.
Yeah, I'm wearing a size large. I think they go from small, I think it's small, medium, large, and then XL. And yeah, this is a large, and I'm like a size 34, so this is fine. There is a good bit of length. And I like the hardware. I like the Western vibes. Feels good.
Yeah.
And
It's got a good heft to it.
yeah, made in Amish country too.
Come on, man.
USA. So they're making incredible stuff. So this is a not one to sneeze at.
Yeah, I would never sneeze at that
Nah,
ever. Even
never
if I
at you.
had to sneeze really bad, I would hold it. But yeah, so that's what we got from Monitaly. Now we're going into Chimula, like I mentioned before, based out of Mexico. All of the knitwear that you're going to see here is made out of Mexican merino yarn, which is unlike other merino yarn I've encountered. Usually merino, you imagine very fine, smooth yarn. This is still very smooth, soft on skin, but much more plush. So this is like stuff that I feel like if you compare this to say like a Canada knit that we just dropped, the gauge of the yarn is quite similar, but these are like pillowy, plushy, dreamlike soft, whereas the Canada has a lot more of a rustic, crunchy feel to it. So this is something that honestly, if you're wearing with a t-shirt, you're gonna have no problem with it. It feels so nice and soft. But yeah, so that's the knitwear. I'm gonna go over the styles. We do have quite a few. So the first off are the Fair Isles. We have, the classic beige, gray, and cream. Thank you. And then we've got, I'd say the fun one. It's the light or washed indigo, but then you get hits of like olives and oranges. I feel like stuff that kind of work in like a milsurpy way. So if you're wearing like an olive jacket that has like orange details, things like that, it's gonna all go together very cohesively. And then last up, this is kind of like the more fashiony one. I feel like whenever Greg sees this, it reminds him of like a Junia Watanabe sweater he saw, and he goes, yes, I made the Junia sweater with Canada, and it looks good, and it looks great. He made it happen. Not Canada, sorry, Chimula. And yeah, I think it's very nice. It feels very like your nighttime Fair Isle sweater. You're going out to the club, but you want a Fair Isle sweater on. This is what you're wearing. It's very swaggy. It feels less festive, but you still get those traditional shapes going on. So it's pretty dope. I can hang these guys back up. Thank you. Next up, we have two of the flag sweaters. This feels like very classic Americana. Just in style and the motif. You get a flag. It's not, one-to-one of the American flag. You'd have to get very fine yarns going on. But you get the stars, you get the stripes. You know what's going on here. We have always had the ivory color, but now we wanted to add, a nighttime club-appropriate colorway with the black. And I just think, if you're just wearing it in different motifs, different outfits, different styles, this is going to kind of work better with other things. So, yeah, I think a very natural pairing with just like, I say this a lot, I wear jeans. Wear it with jeans, it looks good. But you could also wear it with like cords. I feel like this with like wool flannels is kind of exactly what you'd imagine. But this may be with like a charcoal wool flannel, and this with like,
everyday fits.
Something else, fawn, navy, light
Everyday
gray.
fits, a nice little thing to pop out of a jacket. That's cool.
Something to mention about size, sorry. All of these are going to fit just about the same. And you're gonna notice on our sizes online that they're only gonna go from size medium to double XL. And the small guys are like, whoa, what's going on? No size small. But that's because these things fit pretty small. Nick, I believe, he himself usually takes a small, and he's like, a size small, and it fits him regular. But this size medium fits him like pretty snug. So this stuff, it's gonna fit you on body. Definitely like hugging your skin. So take at least one size up if you want to layer some things underneath, maybe two. But like I mentioned before, with that like extra spongy, really special yarn, it's gonna have some give. You just gotta have to wear it enough to make that give happen. So I think if you size up, you gotta give. It's gonna fit the way you want. This is their cable knit. We have it in crew necks. We've had it in turtlenecks in the past. We also have one in the back, but I feel like the turtleneck was like what we had. It's kind of why we liked Chimula to start. Just like their turtlenecks underneath a coat, I feel like was a quintessential no man look. And that's still something you can get from us, but this is also just another option we have. The ivory one we haven't had for many years now, so if you've been waiting on this, definitely get this. It's a more comfortable fisherman sweater, not like that classic scratchy cable knit situation. Next up, we've got the same cable knit, but this time in nice chocolate brown with that high pile turtleneck that I teased you guys about earlier. But now it's here, really, really dramatic. If you're definitely someone trying to you're shooting a lookbook, wear this. It's gonna look good. If you have like picture days happening, buy this bad boy. It's gonna look nice. But yeah, I feel like it's impossible to not look handsome in this, the way it just frames a face. You're gonna be like, yeah, that guy's supposed to be handsome. That's why he's wearing the sweater. So it doesn't matter what else is going on up here. You're gonna look good. And it is a cable knit, but that's primarily on the front. On the back, you aren't seeing those cables. It does kind of, lower the heft in what you're wearing. So you see the classic stuff up front, and on the back, you get a different kind of a stitch. Makes it a little bit more comfortable to wear, in my opinion. And last up, we have two of their Cowichan cardigan shapes. This is going to be, again, Farrow motif like you saw on the crew necks, but this time, yeah, just in a zipped cardigan situation. You get the full zip front, two hand angled pockets going on there, but the same raglan sleeve you've been seeing on a lot of these knits. We have a little bit of the more bold, higher contrast color with this blue and ivory, but then we have the more tonal, more earthy olive, brown, and gray going on. I think one of these should be a size XX or maybe even an XL so you can see what it looks like on me. This should be this guy. Oh, it's a large. I guess, oh, it's because I put the XX over here. Give me one moment. Oh, it's right here.
I'll stand in.
Thank you.
This one, nice darker vibe. Club appropriate.
Appropriate. We're learning things. Okay.
Chimula loves the club.
So you can see this is the size 2X. And I feel like if you've seen me wear things before, you know, you might think this is like a large or an XL in another brand. But this is, I'm sorry, am I covering the mic? No. But this is what their 2X looks like on me. So yeah, definitely do not be afraid to size up on this. It is intended. It's how you're meant to size on this. And you're going to get a good, comfortable, cozy fit out of it. So that's it for the knitwear that goes in the body. But we have some more for your head top as well as a nice little bag. This is one that we've had before. Greg has a very similar bag to this. And he gets compliments on it, I think, constantly. Whenever I see him bringing this bag on our buying trips, people are stopping him. We're like, no, we're busy. We can't talk. But they're like, I love your bag. And he goes, it's made by Chimula, Medco, out of Mexico. It's really good.
It's an enviable bag.
So he has the spiel down. So we have to get a couple just to, you know, appease those guys that always ask, like, Greg, I want your bag. He's like, buy my bag now. And it's really nice. You get really dope like rug-like yarns. It's definitely more held together than like the knit that you're getting here. It's a lot looser. This is, you know, a bag. It's gonna function well. And yeah, it feels like a proper rug. You get one pocket on the inside, but the rest of it is just a nice empty space for you to just put your belongings, wine bottles, lunch every day, whatever you want, and leather bags. You know, Chimula, they're doing great stuff. And lastly, you get cable knit caps. You know, I kind of told you about what those cable knit sweaters are like. That's pretty much what it's like in the caps. We've got a nice dark ox gray, a light heathered gray, this kind of like mustard color, and then this light military green, which I'm partial to. I think it's a really, really pretty color. One thing to note about these caps, we have a lot of knit caps, right? I mean, it's gonna be hard to pick. Yeah. This one, I'd say, with it being made of that spongy, looser gauge yarn, this is like, it's expandable infinitely, it seems like. You could really just kind of make it work on whatever head. It's snug enough to work even if you have a small head. It's gonna kind of hug it close. But Kenshawn, you know, with more hair, he generally needs larger hats to accommodate that. And this does it easily.
This does it. It's hard to fit the locks underneath a lot of headwear, so I always appreciate when knitwear like beanies and caps appreciate the larger headed folks. So thank y'all. Thank you, Yuki.
Yeah, and I feel like this is, of all the hats we have, I mean, a lot of them are good for gifting, but I think this one has an immediate presence to it just with how plush the yarn is and the cable work, that it's hard to be upset when this is something you got under the tree. So,
absolutely.
Yeah. So that's what we've got. That is Chimula, that is Monitaly, that's Medco. Really incredible stuff. If you have any questions on sizing or just questions in general, you can shoot us a question. Check out the rest of the videos, and thanks.